You know, I was gonna start recording this and talk about the big game that it's being played right now in our reality. And it got me thinking about the amount of people who are now divided into believing one thing or the other. And I realized that that's exactly their game. When we talk about they, we're talking about a specific group of people, the elite that we would call, and we have known for years. Even those who deny it, who deny, the elite being in control of the world, they know that these people exist, and they know they're corrupted, but they're pretty afraid of admitting or accepting that these people have that control. And I understand, because that just shows the vulnerability that we as humans have, and we are afraid of admitting that. But in anything, if anything in life is certain, is that if a group of people can get control over power, they will. I mean, we know this. So the notion that this has been happening for a long time is not, I don't think it's far-fetched. But in any case, what's interesting is that they have been controlling this narrative for a long time, and it's always divide and conquer. That's what we all have been, divided. And over time, they just know how to make us fight over things, right? So right now, a lot of people are waking up to this fact, and that's awesome. It just saddens me sometimes to see that some people are still falling, unfortunately, into the game of division. And because truth seekers, whatever, they may be, truth seekers are going to try to find a way to explain the reality that we're living. And in doing so, you're going to question the status quo. There's no questions about it. You have to question it. You do. Otherwise, you won't be able to get far. I mean, you're just going to feed into the narrative of the official narrative. And while you do that, you're going to have to go against that, right? That's where conspiracy theories come in. And I'm so glad that now everybody seems to be a conspiracy theorist. Because if you go against the narrative, they're a conspiracy theorist. And now, the point is that as we start finding, truths that are hidden, that are not being spoken of, we start to realize that now we have division. Because the people who are buying into this whole pandemic are, unfortunately, seeing us as people who are not seeing the reality of what it is. And I just want to say that it's a very it's a sad thing that we're seen this way, because most of us are just trying to show some truth that are not being spoken, for people to make their own minds and try to understand their own reality. So when I see this, it doesn't bother me. It kind of makes me sad to know that they are still in control of a vast amount of people in the world. And it doesn't go beyond that, actually. It doesn't. Because I know that in the end, we're going to be okay. And it's not like we're going to be okay after all this is over and we're going to go back to normal. There's no normality. We won't be back to normality. Thank God. And a lot of exposure is going to happen onto these people that have been manipulating everything right now. I mean, it's so obvious. All you need to do is just follow one little thread. Just follow it. Right now we're living under the conditions of the World Health Organization. Simple as that. Check online. Everything is World Health Organization. They are the ones dictating everything. Never mind the thousands of experts that have been talking about this whole pandemic and that have been questioning everything. Never mind the reports of people inflating the numbers. Doctors that have been forced. Never mind the idea that they're paying over $30,000 per every death. I mean, it seems comical that that's the reality. That the institutions like Medicare is actually paying $30,000 to doctors and hospitals for every COVID-19 death certificate. Why? Why are they getting incentivized like that? I mean, those are the questions that need to be asked. You don't see that in the news. Nobody's asking that. And if you put this in social media, false information. But it's there. It's happening. You can look it up. So it really is a question of how long are people are going to be following this fake narrative that hides everything. And most importantly is, when are people are going to realize that we're living in a world that has been controlled for decades or hundreds of years, depending on how far you want to go down the rabbit hole. But in the end, it doesn't matter, because they're trying desperately. That's why this whole COVID-19 got out of hand for them. They're trying desperately to control us. And it's okay, because they won't. Even though they have in the past controlled a vast amount of the system, this time they will fail. And they'll fail bad. And so when I decided to record this video, I wasn't going to talk about this whole COVID-19 and the division now that exists between, the truth seekers and those who are buying into the official narrative, unfortunately. And I say unfortunate because we should be all together in this. Not into one truth, but just finding a real truth between us, or within us, actually. I don't actually tell anybody to buy into what I say. I'm just one individual. That's all I am, one person. And I'm looking at it with my own eyes and my own understanding. But the sad part is that we don't create this for the idea of instilling more fear. It's actually to ascertain the fact that we're going to be okay after all of this. They will fail. They have been trying really hard, and the harder they try, the more they expose themselves. They have been doing it for a long time already, and it's been out there. But now, the more they try to create this agenda, because it is an agenda, people get scared by that. Well, guess what? Type World Economic Forum and look at the COVID-19 agenda, which they have been preparing for 50 years. It's public information. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's actually public information already. It's called COVID-19 Agenda by the World Economic Forum. Who is the World Economic Forum is the big question that people should ask. People don't know about the World Economic Forum. Well, I'd probably leave you to check that. Check who owns the World Economic Forum. Who's behind it. And check the plan, because there is a COVID-19 agenda plan. I used to laugh at people calling New World Order conspiracy theory, conspiracy theory. Well, now it's called global governance. It's a synonym, beautiful synonym. It's not called the New World Order, but it's called global governance. And they already have everything placed for everything that we have to do, anything that is allowed and that it's going to be implemented according to them. They won't. They'll fail. And I'm pretty sure about this. In fact, this is the intention of the video, was to just say how amazing this actual story is. We are in the most amazing, the most epic story ever told in life, in humanity. And we're about to see the end. And the end is going to be shocking for a lot of people who have been buying into this official narrative. It's going to be shocking for them because, unfortunately, they have been deceived. They have been lied upon year after year, especially now, day after day, with this fake statistics and everything else. And I know that hurts a lot of people. It really does. I mean, there's people clearly dying out there. It's not from COVID-19, because it's not even proven yet. And I leave that to the doctors. I'm not a doctor. There's plenty of doctors talking about this whole thing. But guess what? They're also being banned because that's not what they want. YouTube, Facebook, no. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear real people talking about this because the World Health Organization is the one that knows best. Oh, guess what? Bill Gates is the second largest donor in the World Health Organization. Second only to the United States. So guess who owns the World Health Organization? The guy that's pushing 7 billion vaccines too. It's not going to happen. Again, they will fail. And I'm certain about that. Because this is the thing. And this is why I know they will fail. In the reality of the people that think that they will win, because there's people who think that this all is negative and we're all gonna be in a new world order. It's not gonna happen. And then there's people who think this is all a conspiracy theory. It's fine. Both of those worlds, I don't subscribe to them because they are a failure of humanity. And I don't see how we can fail as humanity that way. I actually see a huge spiritual awakening. I see a lot of people realizing who they truly are inside, the powerful being that they are. Not enough yet, not enough. But this shocking revealing in the next year or so, as we go through this fake, this illusion, as we go through it, more people are going to awaken to their own power. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say. That this is an epic ending for a long story and has been told. And it has been created for our own growth. Now it's been accelerated. Thanks to all the people behind the scenes. That's why I appreciate them. All of them creating this negative outcome that they want. All they're doing is accelerating our spiritual growth. People realizing who they truly are. And I actually feel it for the people who believe this is true. Because it's going to be really hard to realize that you have been fooled for so long. This happened to me in my awakening a long time ago, before the economic collapse, actually, 2008. It's shocking to know that you have been fooled for so long. It really is. So I feel it for them. And I also feel it for my fellow conspiracy theorists who believe that we're going to be enslaved and we're going to be further oppressed by this system, because they're not seeing the light at the end of this tunnel. And I tell you something, I've never been so certain about anything in my life that this is all going to end by the people behind the scenes being exposed, the illusion being shattered, and us finally creating a new world. And it's going to be up to us, the people who are waking up, the people who are in position to create something new, a better world. I don't know how it's going to be. It's not going to be created by me. It's not going to be created by you. It's going to be a collective effort. And that power is going to be back to us, as it's supposed to be in this Mother Earth that we live in. We're going to get there. I just feel like this is the most epic ending we could have asked for in the story of humanity. And I'm so excited to wait for it to happen. I know it sucks for a lot of people, but it's going to be beautiful. And I'll be there with you guys. Much love to you all. Much love.